For 8 years I went from being a princess to a maid. My son Jack finds me annoying and calls me a worthless freeloader. My husband Daniel thinks I'm outdated, too slow to keep up with him, and an embarrassment in his social circle. Fine. I'm done. School runs. Not my problem. Laundry. Cooking. Figure it out yourself. So tell me, Daniel, how's life treating you now that the house is in chaos? Enjoying the mess. The first day I stopped being their unpaid servant, the house fell into chaos. Everyone was looking for me. Mom, where's my craft project? Jack hollered. Sarah. It's almost 9. Why didn't you wake me up? Daniel barked. I rolled over in bed, didn't even lift an eyelid, and pretended I didn't hear a thing. Fuming, Daniel ripped the covers off me and roared, Sarah, what the hell? You're lying there like a corpse, no breakfast, no nothing. What do you think you're doing? Without missing a beat, I threw his own written promise right in his face. Daniel, are you trying to back out on this? His face flushed red instantly. With no time to argue, he rushed out the door. Watching him leave with mismatched socks and his shirt buttons done all wrong, I nearly burst out laughing. Then there was Jack. He searched high and low, his frustration growing. Damn it. Where's my project? His mouth complained, but his eyes kept darting toward me. Normally I'd have had everything packed and ready for him before he even asked. But not today. Not anymore. Maybe he overheard my conversation with Daniel because for once he didn't storm into my room. Instead his whining just got louder. If I'm late, Mrs. Luce is going to be mad. Where the hell is my project? Damn it. Oh. He was definitely talking loud enough for me to hear. I finally got up, walked out of my room and took one look at his disaster of a bedroom. Before I could say a word, Jack shot me a glare. Mom, hurry up and help me find it. I'm gonna be late. I walked right past him without a word. Then just before I stepped out, I threw him a little reminder. If you're late, then move faster. Or are you waiting for a rocket to take you to school? His face turned beet red. He gaped at me in disbelief, mouth hanging open, ready to argue. But after one glance at the clock, he grabbed his backpack and bolted. Hilarious. Weren't they the ones who thought I was useless? Fine. From now on, they can enjoy a life without their personal maid. Once they were out the door, I finally had a peaceful morning. Or so I thought. Halfway through brushing my teeth, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. I didn't even need to check. Of course, it was Daniel. I ignored it and kept brushing. Then it rang again, more urgent this time. Sarah, my file. I think I left it at home. Can you find it for me? The second I picked up, his voice was tense, almost desperate. Every day. It was something: his keys, his files, his wallet. ID reminded him a million times, but he never listened. And when he forgot, somehow it was always my fault for not reminding him. So I'd given up and just packed his things for him every morning. I thought he'd be grateful. Instead, I overheard him bragging to his friends, see? Women need to be put in their place. If you don't keep them in check, they stop listening. Well then, I was just following his advice. Let's see how well he listens now. Daniel, just how stupid are you? How many times have I told you to check your files before leaving? Do you not understand plain English? And one more thing, I'm busy. Don't waste my time. I'm not delivering your damn documents. Then I hung up. Just like that. And wow, nothing wakes you up better than telling Daniel off first thing in the morning. The pent-up frustration? Gone. I felt lighter already. But Daniel wasn't about to give up that easily. My phone buzzed with message after message. Sarah, enough. Don't push your luck. Sarah, hurry up. My manager is breathing down my neck. Sarah? Are you still there? Can you at least check? For the love of God, I'm begging you. Then the final message. A photo of a check. Bring me the file and this is yours. Oh. Well, since he's putting it that way for the money, I guess I can make an exception. Right after dropping off his file, I got a call from Jack's teacher, Mrs. Lucy. Hello, Mrs. Spencer. Could you come to the school? It's urgent. I rushed to the school, only to be met by Jack launching himself at me, sobbing hysterically. Mommy, I'm sorry. Please don't hit me. I know you're mad, but you didn't have to rip up my project. I froze. Then I met Jack's sly little gaze, and just like that, I understood. That little brat. He must be trying to pin his own mistakes on me to avoid getting scolded for being late. Oh, you want to play games with me? Fine. Let's play. I grabbed him by the collar and dragged him to the side, pressing him against the wall. Mrs. Lucy rushed over. Mrs. Spencer, please. No need to be harsh. You should talk things out with him. I didn't bother responding. Instead, I pulled out my phone and hit play on a video. That stupid project. Mrs. Lucy is such an annoying old hag. Just looking at her makes me want to puke. On screen, Jack was prancing around the living room, mimicking her with exaggerated expressions, making faces, acting out her lessons like a little comedian. Honestly, he did a pretty solid impression. Mrs. Lucy's face darkened instantly. Still, she forced a smile, a tight, painful one that looked harder to pull off than actual tears. Jack is usually a very good student. Just a little mischievous. I shook my head and, for extra effect, pulled up my sleeve, revealing a faint bruise. Then I let my voice tremble as I wiped at imaginary tears. I wasn't going to say anything, but Jack has been getting out of hand lately. Mom, don't listen to her, Mrs. Lucy. She's making it up. I never. Yes, Mrs. Lucy, you're absolutely right. It's my fault. I should have let Jack play video games as much as he wanted. I failed as a mother. I'm so sorry. Mrs. Lucy's gaze softened with sympathy. She patted my arm and offered some comforting words. I nodded, sniffled a little more for effect, thanked her profusely, then took Jack's hand and walked out of the school with long, confident strides. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught Jack staring up at me, both furious and stunned. For the first time I felt nothing, not even a twinge of guilt, because this kid was spoiled rotten, and it was about time I fixed that. With them out of my hair, I treated myself. A long spa day. A luxurious bath. Shopping sprees. I used to be pampered like this all the time before marriage, before Daniel got comfortable. Back then he cherished me. He respected my choices. Never pressured me into anything I didn't want to do. He swore before God that he would love me forever, that he would always put me first. But after we got married, he let out a sigh of relief, as if dropping an exhausting performance. The careful attention turned into expectations. The adoration faded into indifference. He stopped making an effort. I told myself that was normal. Marriage wasn't a fairy tale. So I threw myself into being a good wife, a good mother. Jack was my everything, my blood, my legacy. I dedicated myself to him. Made sure he had the best of everything. And in the end, they both turned around and treated me like a burden. Mom, your fashion sense is non-existent. Sarah, can you stop chewing so loudly? It's disgusting. Day after day, under their constant criticism, my self-esteem eroded. I lost all confidence, lost myself. At some point I even started hearing things. Walking through crowds, I could feel imaginary judgmental stares piercing through me. That suffocating moment, panic gripped me, and I fled. I had tried once to talk to Daniel about getting a job, about changing my environment. But every time he refused with the same excuse. Jack is still too young. Someone needs to take care of the house. Was that true? Did the house really need me? Daniel had a thriving career. Jack was already in elementary school. The only one trapped at home was me. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, my face growing dull, my spirit drained. Then I looked at Daniel, strong, thriving, untouched by time. The contrast sent a wave of dread through me. No, I refuse to be a woman without dignity. I refuse to live like this. I refuse. Before I knew it, I was back home. As soon as I opened the door, I found the two of them sitting on the couch, wearing identical stern expressions. Perfect timing, Daniel said. We need to settle some accounts. Why settling accounts? What they really meant was teaming up to tear me down. Jack whined that because of me, Mrs. Lucy had kept him after school for detention. He had to stay until everyone else had gone home. Daniel complained that his boss had chewed him out, docked his bonus, and crushed his chances of a promotion. Listening to them, you'd think I was the villain who had single-handedly ruined their lives. I had enough. I shot up from the couch. Fine, I said. I'll fix everything. I promise. Their faces instantly lit up. Then slowly, deliberately, I placed a notebook on the table and flipped it open. In that case, let's go over my schedule. I cleared my throat and began. I wake up at 6 a.m. By 6:30 breakfast is ready. At 8 I drop Jack off at school. By 9 I start housework. Jack frowned, confused. Why are you telling us this? I ignored him and kept going. When I finished listing every chore I did from morning until night, I looked straight at them and asked, I've done this every single day for years. Every task I do takes time, effort, and energy. Now tell me, how should we settle this account? Jack scratched his head awkwardly. Other moms don't keep track like this. A mother's love is supposed to be unconditional. Unconditional. I almost laughed. So motherhood was just a convenient excuse, a phrase used to guilt me into sacrificing everything without complaint. Something they could throw in my face whenever they needed me to do more. Fine. If we're comparing, let's go all the way that I crossed my arms and looked down at Jack. Other kids help their moms. Other kids appreciate them. What have you done for me? Throwing tantrums. Disrespecting me? Acting like I was their personal servant. They hadn't just taken me for granted. They had trampled me into the ground. Did he forget that I almost died giving birth to him? That I had nearly suffered an amniotic embolism on the operating table just to bring him into this world? And now? This son of mine dared to lecture me about love. Jack's mouth opened. Then closed. Then opened again. But no words came out. He had nothing to say. Daniel, seeing his son lose the battle, yanked him aside and turned to me. Sarah, he's just a kid. Do you really need to emotionally blackmail him? Emotionally blackmail. Coming from him. Now that was rich. Fine. No more empty words. Let's talk numbers. I leaned in, my voice calm. Daniel, this house. I bought it. You never paid a cent. You've lived here for 10 years. How do we settle that? His face turned red. He fumbled for a response. But I paid for the household expenses. Oh, this was about to get even funnier. I tilted my head. Household expenses? You mean the $500 a month you contribute? What do you think this is, 1950? Do you think the world runs on charity? I pulled out every single receipt for the month's expenses and laid them on the table. The total? $390.45. Daniel's face paled. Hilarious that he had no clue how expensive running a household was. If not for my savings and the little money I made from stock investments, I wouldn't have lasted on the pathetic amount he gave me every month. He struggled for a comeback. Then suddenly his eyes lit up like he had found his golden argument. Sarah, I know you work hard. That's why I always buy you gifts for the holidays. Do we really have to put a price on gifts too? Gifts? Oh, he wanted to go there. The cheap buy-on-digit-one-free makeup sets. The ones where he gave the full-sized version to his mother and repackaged the freebie as my gift. Once I caught him in the act. And instead of being ashamed, he actually had the audacity to say, "You don't wear makeup anyway. Why waste the big one on you?" Before marriage I never noticed how stingy he was. But after? Oh, I saw everything clearly. Especially when I watched him throw money around like a king in front of his colleagues. Expensive wines? Opened without hesitation. Huge tips for waiters? No problem. But me, I was the one he cut corners on. And yet, he had the nerve to criticize